So I've said it's not news that there will be a partial closure of the Third Mainland Bridge. But before we go into the readiness of LASTMA and what strategy we're putting in place to deal with the ensuing traffic that might come out, let us just allay some of the bigger fears that is on ground. So the bridge itself has two legs. During the construction, the first 3 months, only one leg of that bridge will be closed, which means the second leg will be available for motorists to use as normal. Now, when I say normal, I don't mean normal 24 hours. So if leg 1 is closed, that is now the Adeniji to Owuroshoki end. That will be the first one to be closed. The Owuroshoki end towards the island will be open. And the normal traffic flow, the peak period, is AM. For those going from mainland to the island, the bridge will still be open. So no one should have any fear about using alternative, about being stuck in traffic. It's going to be the normal traffic. Now, when it becomes 12 o'clock and you still need to go to the island, that is when you're forced to use alternative routes like Ikorodu Road, to use the two other bridges that will be available. That is now Kata Bridge and Eko Bridge. So you use Ikorodu Road, Ojuelegba Barracks to access those two bridges, or you can use Yaba, Murtala Mohammed Way, Oyingbo, and Ido to access Kata Bridge. Now, the reverse of traffic in the afternoon, that is now traffic normally that comes from the island towards the mainland, will be from 1 p.m., which means the normal traffic after work coming to the mainland is not disturbed. The bridge is still available for you to use. Now, after 3 months, the same movement will still remain. The only difference is the leg of the bridge will change, which means the leg 1 that was closed will now be opened while leg 2 is closed. And the same AM peak and PM peak movement will be allowed. Now, let us deal with those that are likely to be affected. It's now the lower number of traffic movements going towards the island in the afternoon, and the lower traffic movement coming from the island towards mainland in the morning. Those are the ones that we really need to appeal to and apologize to, that they will have to find alternative routes. Now, once they do that, the good thing about it is they will be driving against traffic. So if you're coming to the mainland in the morning from the island and the Third Mainland Bridge is not available, when you use Kata Bridge and Eko Bridge, you're driving against normal flow of traffic. So it really shouldn't be so bad. Now, having said that, does not mean there won't be conflicts here and there at the major intersections. That is where LASTMA comes in. So LASTMA comes in with a strategy that now we're going to have to focus more deeply at those intersections where the tiny additional traffic from those coming from the opposite side may affect those going to the island. And it's how we manage that. We're going to put tow trucks out there. So when we have breakdowns, we have accidents and incidences, which is a normal thing that we face in Lagos, then we'll be able to deal with it. So it is not like anything serious that it requires some magical movement from LASTMA. We're just going to dedicate more officers. We're going to be on the road for 24 hours a day so that to clear any issues, impediments overnight before the AM peak normal starts. And that is what is going on. So we have enough, about 600 officers will be dedicated. They're going to work on shift basis, but we're going to be along the corridors, the alternative routes. Our job is not to go and stand on the bridge, because we don't need to be on the bridge. The bridge is either open for you going to the island or it's open for you to come to the mainland. So that doesn't require any officers hanging around there, so to speak. But where we need to be are the areas where, when there's a blockage, how do you manage control traffic? So I'll give you an example. So if you're coming down to the mainland from the island and you're on Lekki Expressway, you're going to go through Ozuban Way, you're going to go through Nnamdi Azikiwe Road, you're going to go through Law School, those areas, in order to access Eko Bridge. LASTMA needs to be in all those areas because the volume of traffic will be different, because now they cannot use the Third Mainland Bridge, they have to use Eko Bridge. So Akpongpong area, Marina area, that is where we will concentrate, because that is where the additional traffic will be for those coming to the mainland. And basically, it's just money traffic. I'll tell you how easy it can be. It's only when you cannot manage it or you cannot control it, that is when chaos begins, where you come to intersections and everyone wants to go into that intersection without giving way to each other. And that is where LASTMA comes in, which is a normal job. Men are ready, number one. And the time is not so important. Why am I saying? I'm just going to repeat that. The same traffic that normally goes to the island influx will remain. It's not changing. And the same influx coming back to the mainland will remain. It's not changing. It's just the core hours against traffic that is changing. So I don't, whether you're young or you're old, if you feel like you need to travel to the island, not much will change, as long as you do it within the period that you're allowed to go over the Third Mainland Bridge. And the governor has even done well to provide even extra transportation alternatives. The waterways are there, more ferries are being provided, so people can go from the Ikorodu axis and go even from Oloshoki, go to Ebuteru, go to CMS and everything. So alternatives there, more buses will be on the BRT corridor. Even in this period of 6 months, it's a possibility that the BRT corridor on Abule Egba going towards Oshodi will be open. So things are happening. So the fact that it's starting and where we are now does not necessarily mean that is where we will be in the next 1 month. And so with traffic management, it's a fluid thing. Every week you assess and evaluate what you've done. So where you have challenges and everything, you sit down and you look at how you can address it, how you can look for solutions to help it. So I don't feel afraid, and I don't think anyone should feel afraid. We're all in it together. It's a matter of facing the reality. If you do not have any real reason to go to the island after 12 noon, then don't go. If you have any reason to go, then go during the time when the bridge is open for you to use. It's a matter of changing and planning yourself accordingly with what is on ground. It's the volume and the need for people to commute and to go somewhere that creates traffic. And all the other activities from the yellow buses, from the market women, these are all government agencies that need to sort all those one out as we go along, because there are already problems anyway. And so when you have these restrictions, the problem, if it's not addressed, will still remain. And so we all need to wake up and take the same opportunity to right so many wrongs that are happening on the road. The market people should not be selling on the road. The downful drivers should not just be parking anyhow on the road. People should not be taking one way, because when you take one way, you obstruct traffic that has a right to be on the road. People should not come out of intersections and just block it just because you feel it's okay for you to do so. This is the time to change our attitude on driving in Lagos. And whether we like it, it will be okay. It's a matter of attitude. It's a matter of planning, it's a matter of patience, and it's a matter of facing the reality. So if you need to be arrested, if you take one way and we arrest you, you'll forfeit your vehicle. If you go into a yellow box and block the intersection when your exit is not clear, you will be arrested and you will pay the fine. So any of the traffic laws has not changed just because the Third Mainland Bridge is closed. This is even the time where we need to be extra careful, because every little thing that you do affects the motoring public. So we cannot afford to fold hands and say, oh, just because Third Mainland Bridge is being closed, let everybody just do whatever they want anyhow. That's never going to work for us. And when we say alternative from the government does not mean the government has built one new road as an alternative. The government is saying if there's a restriction here, you are not stumped from going to where you need to go. There's an alternative for you to use. So we must clarify that the government is not saying to you, just because you cannot use Third Mainland Bridge, for example, you're going to the island and you cannot use the Third Mainland Bridge from 12 noon till 12 midnight. Suddenly there's one road that is free for you. No, it's saying the Ikorodu road is there. You need to go to the island, you need to go home, you walk in Ikeja, you're coming from the airport, Ikorodu road is available for you. And whatever potholes are there are being repaired, are being sorted out to make it motorable. Yes, so the roads are there. And those that are going to be disenfranchised from using the Third Mainland Bridge will be small traffic, and they will be driving against traffic. Because if I'm on Ikorodu Road and I'm going to the island, I don't expect to see crazy traffic there. The traffic in the afternoon on Ikorodu Road is coming back towards the mainland. But if I'm going to the island, it is not.